Alright, so for this drumming video, we are going to be taking a look at one of our other 8/4 rhythms. And again, 8/4 means you have 8 beats per measure or cycle, and every quarter note is getting the one beat. This one is known as the Ciftetelli. So Ciftetelli is the Turkish name for this rhythm, but there is an Egyptian slash Arabic uh, rhythm equivalent, which would be known as the Wahdawanus. But Ciftetelli is how it was introduced to me, and that's kind of very common when you're looking through belly dance music. If you type in, Ciftetelli, you're gonna find many variations on this rhythm. So the Ciftetelli is kind of neat because again, it is Turkish in nature, and it just reminds us that yes, a lot of what we do in this sort of like modern fusion world of the style does come from Arabic style of dance, but there's also uh, influences beyond Arabic, uh, beyond the what am I trying to say? Beyond that region. So we also have things like Turkish influence, Greek belly dance influence, and a lot of that intersection really happened during that sort of like classic uh, age of vintage restaurant style in the United States, anyways, during the 1960s, 70s era. But that's kind of a side bait. Back to the rhythm. So, Shiptatelli rhythm is going it. So, I kind of made this comparison between the Masmudi Kabir and the Masmudi Sagir. So, um, if you go back and looking at our 4/4 rhythms structurally, the Masmudi Sagir or the Baladi rhythm is very similar to the Masmudi Kabir. So for this one, the Shiptatelli rhythm, you can think of it as being structurally similar to our Saidi rhythm in that the first the first dune you get the single, and then the second round of bass tones you play the double. So and you'll hear that as we kind of go with this. So just to kind of clap it out, it's 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. It's a doom, tack, tack, doom, doom, tack, 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 doom, tack, tack, doom, doom, tack. Okay, so let's try that on the drum. Again, as always, starting with your basses, and as you start feeling more comfortable with that, adding your tacks as you go. Okay, so it's 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom, tack, tack, boom, boom, tack, 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 boom, tack, tack, boom, Let's try filling that in a little bit. Okay, so that's a little riff on our Ciftetelli rhythm. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's one of my favorite rhythms. I know that. And yeah, and as you're playing, as you're listening, trying out maybe some different tempos. This is a really beautiful one. If you want to just slow it down and get really like juicy in there. So yeah, so keep working on that as well as our other 8/4 rhythm Masmudi Kabir at this point. And yeah, I'll catch you for some more drumming. Thank you.